Welcome back. Just before the break, we were talking about the good work that is being provided by the regulatory bodies in the financial field in Bangladesh. Obviously, there are ifs and buts, but the cake is full of icing, and there's a lot to be proud of rather than to be dismayed. Thank you, sir. We were talking about the good role of Bangladesh Bank.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, if they hadn't done a reasonably good job, then the depositors would have been very, very badly affected long time ago. So they have done a reasonably good job. But there is so much more that can be done. And I'm not a banker, and I'm not either a central banker. So I would not want to get into that too much.
Right.
But I can only tell you that with the limited work that I do with banks and the knowledge that I have gained through that, through those work of what Bangladesh Bank regulations are like and how those are actually implemented, I am quite impressed by much of the work that they do. But again, they could do a lot more.
Right.
With regard to regulations, there's one serious area where the regulations should have been really effective, should have been strong, and that's in education. And that's where I think the failings probably are the most.
What we seem to have fantastic results every year.
Yeah, I mean, there are good students, and then the system is such that probably
It's easier to get good grades.
you easily get good grades. But when you talk to people, because I'm in management consulting and I get involved in recruitments. When I talk to people, when organizations try to recruit fresh graduates.
Headhunting.
Yeah, fresh graduates, and you talk to them, then you understand how much knowledge they have, the depth of knowledge that these people have. And sadly, there are so many, I think there are about 60 universities now, if I'm not wrong, private universities and public universities together.
But we have a large population to cater to, isn't it? I mean, you have to provide education to them.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing the number of universities.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that while the numbers grew, I think what was ignored was the quality. I think the numbers grew at the cost of quality.
Right.
And therefore, the products coming out from these private universities leave much to be desired. The young people in my country today, sadly, are not so competitive if you see them in the context of the globe.
Right.
And there are many individual good achievements. There are always exceptions. There are stars, you will find everywhere. And these people are not to be considered to be the normal, the general,
The representative.
the representative group. By and large, education is suffering, and that I think the regulation needs to be tightened. There must be look, you have universities without fields.
Yep.
Where people can go out and play
Right.
football, cricket, or something. And the universities are housed in high-rise,
Apartment
vertically
buildings.
high-rise, in buildings. The Grants Commission has put their foot down, and they said that you cannot remain in apartment buildings anymore. So you have to have your own property, and you have to build your own campuses. Unfortunately, campuses, they are all very large buildings. When you send people to the universities, you're supposed to give them an environment where they will be able to learn, not just from books, but from outside the books. You don't get that in these universities. I'm pretty sure about that. So it's sad that the universities, there are some extremely good faculty, but by and large the faculty is much to be desired.
Right. These are the private universities we're talking about. I'm so happy that I've got somebody here today who is so much interested in the education business. I'm saying business. What about our Dhaka University, Chittagong universities, and Rajshahi, and we have. Did we have? Now we have at Sylhet and
Yes.
and
Yes.
Khulna and Jasor
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But what about Dhaka University? I mean, particularly because that's where I received a little bit of education there.
Yes. I was also educated in the Dhaka University. Dhaka University was certainly a center of excellence. There was no doubt about that. It lost its glory. And I would not want to get into too much of why. I have my own personal understanding of
Right.
what went wrong and probably is still going wrong. But it lost a lot of its glory.
Right.
And for example, the Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology was considered one of the best in the region, lost a lot of its glory. Those are the areas where the Grants Commission needs to really look into. You said my interest in education business. No, I don't have an interest in the education business. I have an interest in education. My father, Professor Muhammad Muhyiddin, was a scholar and an educationist. His career, his life was given to education. My uncle, Mr. Syed Ahmad, is the founder president of North-South University, which is the first private university in Bangladesh.
And was considered very good.
Absolutely. My uncle, Ataur Samad, who I talked about, was also a teacher in the journalism department of Dhaka University. Above all, my two grandfathers were educationists. And so I have come from a family of educationists. And
I didn't say that you were interested in this business, but I said that it has become a business. Education
indeed, and that is sad. It has become a business. It has become a business from even the school level. You see the coaching classes.
Right.
Why would you have to go to a coaching class after having spent hours in the school? You're supposed to come home and rest a bit, then go out and play a little bit, and then do some homework at night, go to sleep, and go back to school again.
And look at the size of their school bags, you see.
Yes.
They are more like porters.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Young children.
Absolutely.
Not strong enough to carry those big bags.
Absolutely. That's why the entire education system needs to have a proper review.
And I think that possibly they are looking at because of this frequent leaks of questions.
Yeah, I mean that's another very sad. It's a part of the corrupt practices that there are in many sectors.
I had a very responsible person, and he was saying that on this show that in which country would you find that we provide school books? I said I agree with you, and I also said that in which country would you find you also provide question papers? So that is another sad story.
Yes.
Let's go back to media, and you have great experiences. We want to our viewers and those of younger people who are watching you from home and elsewhere. How a lot of people want to enter the media. They want to do this, they want to do that, you see. But media is not just all glamour, it's a hard work.
Yes.
You have to, I mean, that we are sitting here talking about it.
Yeah.
There are 10 persons working behind the scene, you see.
Yes.
And making sure that this show goes on in time. There's no blackout.
Yes.
The lights are right, and the sound system is okay and all that.
Correct.
You see. So how one can really join, and what are the impetus to join? Because in many countries it's just glamour and glamour and glamour, see, but it is not. It's real hard work.
It's just not hard work. One has to understand those who get into media, who are already in media and wish to be in media, those who manage media, control media, own media, all of them have to understand that they have a responsibility towards the society, towards the community. And because it's such a powerful vehicle that they're getting onto, they can actually mold the minds of people, the lifestyle of people, And that's why that public television system is so important. Bangladesh television was actually created to serve the public interests. Now, if you wish to enter this media world, you have to understand that you shouldn't get into it because it's going to bring you a lot of glamour. Your face will be known, your name will be known, and you will be popular. You will sign autographs on the streets. You become a star overnight. If that's the kind of thinking that you have, the mindset you have, and you want to enter media, I would suggest that don't. If you feel that through the media you can serve the public, you can actually do something, some good work, you can actually participate in the development of the nation, then please do come and join the media, because that's where you get the scope to do it.
Right.
And you know, very ordinary people, I don't think that's the place for. The media is not the place for them.
Right. Thank you. You are a business consultant, well, executive coach. There are a lot of people, young people in this country of Bangladeshi origin, living in this country. They have the education, they want to do something for their country. Sometimes they go there, spend 3 months, 6 months, you see, they want to set up business, you see. Unfortunately, they don't succeed and they come home, you see, with a sad story. How one or two persons or three persons, if they want to set up a small business, a small company, how can they really start? What are the requirements, and what will be success recipe for that?
You see, people who have spent time abroad from outside Bangladesh, who have either studied abroad or have done some work for some time abroad, when they go back, they have a culture shock. And it's quite natural, because these are definitely two different cultures or two different worlds that you live in. To be able to succeed in a business venture, the first and most important thing is for you to be able to choose the venture that you want to get into. So you have to do a little bit of research before you get into that.
I think a little bit is a bit polite.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing which gets so ignored. You have to do a bit of research. Where do I go? What do I want to do? Where am I going to get into? What kind of a market am I getting into? Where is the opening? What are my strengths? Which, even if there is an opening, do I have the strength?
True.
The academic background or any other kind of background to be able to take that opportunity and then make good of it. So those are the things that you have to keep in mind before you actually get into, when you get into Bangladesh. What are the things that you really have to do to be able to succeed in a business? Well, look, there are things that you have to fulfill. Those are statutory requirements. Those are.
It would be anywhere.
Anywhere. But most often people make a mistake is their followers. So where they see that there's a lot of people, there's a lot of crowd, then that must be where the honey is. And so let's go there. And then they very soon find out that the honey has dried up, or there are already people so well established that you can't do much in that area. So I would advise the young people, use the education that you have received and try and do a little research, and then get into an opportunity where you think you will be able to succeed with the kind of strength that you have.
So it is entirely up to them what they do. And is there any government department, any public office that can help them?
I'm not aware of such government initiatives. But then there are initiatives for young people by private organizations. They do engage with young people, and then they try to, You see, again, the media is doing a good job. If you look at the Daily Star,
Yeah.
the Daily Star does take such initiatives, and again, there are other newspapers which I'm sure I can't. Prothamalu is probably another one, who do help young people. They have a forum through which they can. There is a competition of good ideas, business ideas, and business ventures. And if there are young people who have succeeded, they are focused. So that sort of initiative is there, but.
That's very good.
Yeah, but your question was whether there was a government initiative where people could go and find out that this is where I think I would like to invest money in and time in. These are the opportunities. This is of interest to me. I'm not aware of such a thing.
Well, thank you very much for providing the good ideas, and thank you for coming along on a very busy day, and a sad day that Bangladesh lost to cricket. But I think one good thing about it is that we have talked about that cricket has brought the nation together.
Oh yes, indeed it has.
Thanks to the efforts of our young team.
Oh,
thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you viewers for being with us, and we hope that you've enjoyed the show as much as we have. Same time, same channel next week with another very distinguished guest. Until then, take care.